Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video. And today we're going to do the real review for the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Now, if you're new to my channel, let me explain something really quick. The reason I call this the real review is not trying to say that anybody else's review is fake. No, that's not what I mean. I call this the real review because I'm a real consumer. All of these phones that y'all see me review on my channel are phones that I bought with my own money. I don't work for Samsung. I don't work for Apple. I got no reason to give y'all any biased information. I'm just going to give y'all my real opinions. All right, so let's get right into it. Now, as usual, I always like to talk about everything I don't like first, and then we'll get into everything that I do like. So let's start with the dislikes. Number one, speaker on the back. All right, now this is one thing I'm definitely not feeling, the speaker placement on the back. In my opinion, this is the worst possible place to put a speaker at. Because when you're holding the phone in your hand, you tend to naturally muffle the speaker out. All right, now when the phone is laying flat on the table, you'll still be able to hear your music because if you look at the speaker grill, it is raised up. All right, so that little piece of plastic right there is raised up. So it's not going to be flush on the table, but when you're holding the phone in your hand and you're listening to music or you're watching a video, you're muffling out the sound a little bit. Now, I'm kind of spoiled. I've been using the HTC One M8 with the speakers on the front. That's the best possible place to put speakers at. Just like the Nexus 6 coming out, they got it right. So that's one thing I don't like is the speaker on the back. Whatever, is it a deal breaker? Not at all. Next, no apps on the lock screen. Now, if y'all remember on your Galaxy Note 3, as soon as you pull the phone out of your pocket and you hit your lock screen, you had apps on the bottom. All right, now let me show you what I mean by that. Take a look at the G3. Now, when I pull out my G3, you see I have these apps on the bottom. If I want to go to Gmail, I just hold on the icon and swipe up, and it goes straight to Gmail. You used to be able to do that on your Galaxy Note 3. That's a feature that Samsung removed. So I don't like that. They should have left that. Next, the hover over the screen to see your notifications feature, that's gone also. All right, now you could go to accessibility and you can activate screen on by hovering over it, but it's a different kind of screen on. This should just activate your lock screen. It doesn't show you if you had, it will show you if you had a missed text or a missed call. That'll pop up, but it won't show you all your missed Twitter alerts, all your Google Hangout, all your Instagram alerts like it used to. Remember on your Galaxy Note 3, when you hovered over the screen, it kind of turned blue, it had the bubble effect, and you had a whole list of all of your icons. That's gone. Now, I actually use that feature a lot when I, sitting in meetings and I'm bored. I would just hover over and see how many Instagram hits I got or how many tweets I got, coming in, whatever. Is it a big deal? Not at all, but that's something I think they should have left. Next. Now, this is a flagship from Samsung. I don't understand why they didn't add the toolbar. Now, if you had the Galaxy Note 3, you didn't have a toolbar on that, but everybody who had the Galaxy S5, you know what I mean by the toolbar. Let me pull it up real quick. On your S5, you see that little dot right here that you can move around? That's a toolbar. Okay, so when you hit the toolbar, it opens up these little apps right here. So you got your camera, your internet, voice recorder, notepad, and a calculator. So you could be anywhere. So now say I'm on Instagram, I'm looking at some stuff and I just need a quick voice recorder or a quick camera. Hit the toolbar and it pops right up. Now, is that a big deal? Not at all. But if this is the flagship from Samsung, why not take all of the good stuff from the S5 and add it to the Note 4. I don't understand why they didn't do that. Is it a big deal? Not at all. Next, the build on this now. We'll talk about the build. That's something that I do like, but that's a double-edged sword because that's something that I don't like also. The build on this, great build, but the sides are very sharp. All right, when you're holding the phone, you're going to feel the sharpness of the sides. Now, easy fix for that. All you have to do is get yourself a case and drop a case on it. End of the story. But now look, I don't want to turn this into a comparison video, but I will compare a few things here and there. If you got yourself an iPhone 6 Plus, when you're holding this, now people are going to argue and say this one is more slippery, but when you're holding it, it feels comfortable because the edges are nice and smooth and soft. It feels comfortable when you're holding it without a case. Now, if you're holding your Note 4 without a case, be prepared for the side, very sharp. Now, let me talk about something really quick. You hear a lot of stuff going around on the internet as far as with the gap on the side of the phone. A lot of people saying it's going to get dust and dirt in it. You see some people even trying to stick a little credit card in the side or stick a little business card in there. I've been using this phone from day one. I have no problems with the gap. All right? It's more made up hype. Don't fall into it. Now, I have a case on the phone, of course, but sometimes I don't have a case. and I have the phone in my pocket with a whole bunch of lint and dirt and everything like that, when I pull it out of my pocket, just like any other phone, you wipe off the screen and it looks just like this. All right, I never had to take a blow dryer or I'm blowing in the sides to get little pieces of dust out. Never had that problem at all. So let me just throw that in there real quick. Next, another thing that's missing from the Note 4 that was on the Note 3 is the multitask arrow. Let me show you what that is. Right now, remember on your Galaxy Note 3, you see how you have that little arrow right there that you can move up and down, which activates your split screen, multitask apps? That's gone on the Note 4. All right, so on the Note 4, when you want to activate your multitask, you just got to hold down the back button and it pops up. But that's the thing. Once you get rid of it, it disappears. So you're constantly going to have to keep going back to the back button. Is that a deal breaker? Is it a big deal? Not at all. Just something I don't like. What else? Oh, this is something that I don't like. When you hit the multitask, and fellas, hit me up in the comments and let me know if y'all have the same issue. When you hit your multitask button, look how long it takes for the apps to pop up. That's a long time. All right, let me do that again. All right, so when you're at the home screen and you're doing stuff, now you want to go to your multitask app, press the button, and it's a little delay. I'm not feeling that at all, okay? I'm not feeling that delay. When you go to My Magazine, Flipboard, whatever y'all want to call it, it's very slow. All right, so I'm not feeling that. Now, keep in mind, this review is a stock phone review. Okay, now, I know once you root the phone, we'll talk about rooting and all that stuff later. Once you root the phone, yeah, you could get rid of some of that bloatware. You could get rid of TouchWiz altogether. The phone's going to run a lot smoother and a lot faster. But we're doing this video as a stock phone review because a lot of people aren't going to root the phone. We're not going to talk about animation scaling and all that. We're not going to talk about nothing that has to do with developer options because a lot of people don't even know how to access the developer options. So a lot of people are not going to do that. So we're going to keep this review pretty simple and just make it for the general public who's not interested in rooting, who's not interested in going from Dalvik to art and all that other stuff. We're not going to even talk about that. But I will interject one little side note. I did switch over to art and I didn't like it. Fellas, y'all know what I'm talking about. Hit me up in the comments. I went back to Dalvik. It runs a little bit smoother. Everything's not really optimized yet for art. Whatever. So we'll talk about that later. Next. Now, this is probably the thing I don't like the most about this phone. This is my major gripe, my major dislike, is the TouchWiz lag. It's still there. All right. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being ultra laggy, like an old school Windows phone, and 1 being the smoothest lag-free phone on the planet, I would give this on the lag factor maybe a 2.5 to 3. All right. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not going to lag all day, every day. But every now and then, and like y'all know, I use these phones hard, okay? I use these phones beast mode, internet warrior status. Y'all see me on Twitter all day, on Google+, on Instagram. A lot of times when I pull the phone out of my pocket and I start swiping, you'll get this animation where it gets stuck like this and you have to wait a second. Also, a lot of times when you pull the notification bar down too fast, it'll lag out. Now, my girl got the Verizon version. I got a Sprint version. Both of us been having the same issues, and not a deal-breaking issue, not even a big deal issue, but when you're using something like, when you get used to using a HTC M8, something like this, or you get used to using an iPhone 6 Plus with zero lag at all, you get used to that, everything, working every time. With the Galaxy Note 4, I would say every now and then I do have a little hiccup, a little lag here and there. Like I said, if you really want to get to the heart of that, all you have to do is root your phone, get rid of TouchWiz altogether, and this phone is going to be a beast. Because at the end of the day, it does have the top of the line specs. It has all the right chipset and processor and all that. Everything is right. It's just the TouchWiz that's causing it to have little hiccups and little bugs here and there. I have to mention it because that's something I don't like. When I pull my phone out of my pocket, I want it to always work 100% smooth. I don't want any lag. I don't want any hiccups. All right, so that's one of the major things I don't like is the TouchWiz lag here and there. Now, let's get into everything that I do like. First, the build. Now, if you had a Galaxy Note 3, and this is kind of the theme of this video, a lot of people are going to ask me, should you upgrade from your Galaxy Note 3 to a Note 4? And I'm going to go on record right now and say yes, most definitely. All right, the build quality on this is a go. Like I said, it's a little bit sharp here and there, whatever. I'd rather have a little bit of sharpness with the nice metal sides now as opposed to the plastic Galaxy Note 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now you got the metal sides. Now, whatever color Galaxy Note you get, the sides are going to be that color. So the white one, the sides is white. The gold one, the sides are gold. The black ones, the sides are black. Only problem I see with this is be careful. Now, I use cases on all of my phones, so I don't think I'm going to run into this issue. But for all of y'all that like to rock your phone raw dog with no case, butt naked, trust me, after a while, if you keep scratching the sides, this is just paint on here, it's going to get chipped up and it's going to start looking ugly. Now, I was in Sprint the other day, handling some other stuff, and I happened to look at the Galaxy Note that was on display, and the side of it was kind of chipped up, and you could see the paint fading off. All right, so I highly recommend if you want to keep your phone looking pristine, get yourself a case, $20. Save that headache. Next, the display. Now, without a doubt, I'm going on record again. Samsung Knights, stand up. I'm going on record and saying that this is the best display out of any phone that I ever used. All right, period. Out of all the phones that I got right now, all the phones that's activated on all of my accounts, that's including the 6 Plus and the 6, including the LG G3, which blew me away when I first got it. That phone I thought was the best display in the world. Well, this one is even better than that. All right, the Galaxy Note 4 has the best display. All right, now, even if you don't know what, 4K and Ultra Pixels and UHD and PPI, even if you don't know what all that stuff means, the resolution and all that, who cares? When you look at this phone, it's the best looking display that you're going to see. And what separates this from phones like the G3 is the blacks. That's the benefit of the Super AMOLED displays. You get that rich, dark black colors. And that's why I always use the black backgrounds when it comes to all of my Galaxy phones. Because anything that I got that Super AMOLED display, I'm going to use that black background. And it just makes it look crazy. It just looks sick. So the display, best in the world right now, point blank. All right, now if you want to get into the tech specs, this display has 7.9 million times 8431 PPI. What does that mean? Exactly, that's the point. Who cares? Nobody knows what that means and nobody really cares. I know what it means. I'm just trolling y'all, but the bottom line is when you look at the display, you're gonna love it. All right, now if your friend got a G3, look at his G3 and then look at your Note 4, put them side by side, play with the settings all you want. It's still not gonna compare. All right, the Note 4, best display. Next, the sound. Now, the sound on this, like I said, the speaker on the back, I'm not feeling that, but I can't deny that the sound is great on this, especially some of the ringtones. Now, I'll be on Zedge. Now, if y'all don't know what Zedge is, it's an app where you get ringtones. Download some of these ringtones from Zedge and listen to how they play on your Galaxy Note 4. Now, I got the same ringtones, such as, let's see, the Jetsons doorbell, or, some of the old Super Mario Brothers and Pac-Man sounds. When you play them on other phones, yeah, they sound nice. But on the Galaxy Note, it's mad loud. Now, I will say on my HTC M8, the sound is a little bit better. Okay, it's just as loud, but it has better sound quality. The sound on this Note 4, sometimes it just seems loud, but no bass and all that. It's a phone. So you're not going to expect to get a whole bunch of bass and highs and mids and all that. You just want a nice loud ringtone, so when you're sleeping and you got your alarm set, it's going to wake you up. All right, if you got a special ringtone for your wife, your husband, whatever, when they call and you put a nice loud ringtone, you're not going to miss that call. All right, so the sound on this is great. Now, one of my favorite features about this phone that I like, which separates this from a lot of the other phones on the market, is the multitasking. All right, let's talk about multitasking. That's the next thing that I like. The multitasking on this phone is insane. All right, they stepped it up from the Galaxy Note 3, which already had beast mode multitasking. Now it's even better. Let me show you some of the multitasking that you can do. So now let's open up the sidebar right here. Let's say I want to go to Gmail. I'll tap on Gmail and it'll pop open this window. So now say I got this window open. I can interact with this window. I can actually move it around. I can resize it. Do a whole bunch of stuff. But let me show you something else now. Let's pop open another window. Let's see. Let's open up a calendar. All right, so now I can open up my calendar. All you have to do is tap on it. Calendar will pop open. Okay, now look, you see, this is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. I'm glad I'm doing this live so y'all don't think I'm BSing. You see, sometimes, now look, the calendar just popped open. Sometimes you will get an occasional lag, an occasional hiccup. things tend to slow down a little bit here and there. All right, let's open up email at the same time too. Okay, now email just popped open. So now I got 3 windows open at the same time. You see, now my phone is lagging out a little bit right now. So what I'll do is let's just close all these other windows, make sure everything is shut down. You see look how long this is taking. See, fellas, this is what bothers me about TouchWiz. And this, like I said, this is one of the things I don't like. And this happens all the time. Not every day, but all the time. You see, look at this. What's going on here? So let's hit the home button. Now we got the black screen. All right, let's close everything down and try this again. And this is going down live. See, I'm glad this is going down live, because a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, maybe you didn't do this, maybe you didn't do that. Look, the phone is basically just lagged out right now. Nothing's working. Look, you see that? Okay, so let's clear everything out of this. Let's close everything down again and try this again. Okay, everything is closed. Now let's try this again. So let's open up a calendar. Let's open up a calculator. And let's see what else. Let's open up emails. Okay, so now I got 3 apps open at the same time. We can move these around. One thing you will have to get used to is, feeling that, getting your hand right on that button, right on that dot. Move these around and use these. Now, once you hit the home button, all of these are turned into these 3 little icons. So you got your calendar icon, your calculator, and your email. I could just pop this open back to the calculator. Now, when you hit the little menu tab on that, if there was some text on here, I could copy the text from here. You see, I got the little X. It's not supported for this right here, but I would be able to copy some text and move it to another window. Or I could just close it into that little ball like that. Or I could just make it full screen or get rid of it. Now, you see, I still got these 2 little windows right here. Let's go back to the side now. Let's open up. Let's see. Let's open up emails. Now, you can also do it like this. You could do a split screen with email and Facebook. All right, now this is real multitasking right here. Now I can have all of my emails going at the top, and I can still be browsing through the Facebook at the bottom. So I can be looking at Facebook, looking at the top. Then I can also hit that button and have the calculator right there. Now you can have up to 5 windows open at a time in the middle of a split screen. All right, now that's kind of dope. Also, with the split screen, you can set it up to have custom shortcuts. So you see, one that I use the most is my Couple app and my Gmail. I use that a lot. But there's a bunch of apps. Now, one thing I will say is you can't just put anything on the side. There's no Instagram on the side yet. No Kick on the side. A lot of stuff you can't put yet. That's a simple fix. When you root your phone, they do have ROMs that allow you to put everything on here. But if you got a stock phone, you're not going to be able to do that. All right, so let's close this out. So real multitasking at its finest. You can switch these back and forth. Let's open up something else. Let's see. Like I said, that was one thing that's why I kind of missed that arrow on the side, because you have to keep pressing the back button to get to your side button, your side load apps, your multitask apps. All right, so now we got the split screen right here. You can hit the button. Same thing. You could copy text from the bottom and bring it to the top. Hit the button again. You can reverse these. Put your Facebook on the top now and put the email on the bottom. You can minimize them, maximize them, or close one out. Okay, so multitasking on this phone is serious. Trust me. Now, I'm still kind of stuck too from that little lag. That's what really bothers me. I really hate that. But let's keep it moving. All right, let's keep it moving. Now, I know y'all gonna blow up the comments every now and then. Let me give you a free, some free advice, an easy way to not have this problem so often. I recommend doing a battery pull every day on any Samsung phone. That's what I normally do. I haven't done one yet today, but every morning when I wake up, I take out the battery and put it back in, and I find that really helps. But you shouldn't have to do that. All right, because I don't have to do that on my HTC M8. I don't have to do it on my G3. Of course, the M8, you can't take the battery out. But on my G3, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that on my iPhone. I don't have to do that on a lot of other products that I have. It's only with these TouchWiz Galaxy phones that you get that lag here and there. I know I'm harping on it, but I can't stand that. Next, the camera. Now, y'all seen the camera test for yourself. A lot of people said that they like the iPhone one better, but the camera, the video camera on this is a beast. All right. Now, when I made that camera test, I want to let y'all know I do know how to use the phone. I know how to use the settings. A lot of people was asking me, did I have stabilization on? Was I using smooth motion? Of course I was. I mean, this is not my first phone. All right. I had stabilization on, but you got to admit the iPhone stabilization just looks better. You know, don't blame me because you didn't like the fact that it looked like it was a little bit shaky here and there. That's the, that's the phone. Now, I didn't do a video in UHD because if you record in UHD in 4K, it takes up so much memory. All right, you could on a 5-minute video, you'll blow up your whole memory card. It's ridiculous. So I didn't bother to do the 4K test. I did a regular 1080p test because that's what most people are going to use anyway. And also, if you just look at the 1080p, you could assume that 4K is going to be more sharp. Of course, obviously. But the video on this is great. And what separated this one from the iPhone 6 Plus video, because that was the main one that everybody was comparing it to, what separates these two phones is the sound. The sound on the Note 4 is way better than the iPhone 6 Plus when you're doing video. All right, listen to the sounds for yourself on both camera test videos. You'll notice that the Note, and the Note has always been like that. From all of the Notes, they always have great sound. All right, so the camera on this is a go. The video camera is a major go. Now, let's talk about the regular camera also. Now, on your regular camera, you do have some nice features. Let me show y'all. You do have some nice features on your regular camera. Let's put this where y'all can see it. You have this tap to lock in the focus exposure. All right, now that's a good feature right there. A lot of times, remember, you just tap it and it'll zoom in, and then when you're ready to take the picture, you lose that focus. Now you tap to zoom in, you just hold it, lock the focus, take the picture. If you hold down the button, you're gonna get the burst shots. All of the same features. When you go on your modes, you got all of the modes, different, beauty face, shot and more, rear selfie cam, which is nice now because now for all y'all people want to take selfies, when you can't see it, but you'll be able to hear it. It'll kind of use that face detection software. So when you're doing a rear selfie mode and you're holding the camera out and you're taking a selfie, you hear a little beep, beep, beep. That'll let you know that your face has been detected and you take the picture. All right, you got selective focus. That's the same as those Instagram blurry backgrounds. Like you see on the fancy cameras, you have an object here and the foreground will be blurred out. You can do that with this too. You got panorama, take a picture of everything that's out. You got, I just took another picture. you got virtual tour. Now, if y'all never use that, I suggest that y'all play with this and try it out. If you ever wanted to show somebody what your office look like or your house look like, use a virtual tour camera and it'll give them exactly what it says, a virtual tour. It's crazy. Now, you got dual camera mode, so you could be in the front and the back. So say you want to take a picture, you and your husband, you and your wife go out, and y'all want to both be in the same picture, it'll look just like that. Your picture will be cropped up in a little box, and whoever's in the back will be in the main screen. Also now, when y'all go to dual camera, try out glue mode. All right, I showed y'all a nice demonstration of that on my Galaxy Note 3. I'm not gonna do it again now because I don't want this video to take too long, but glue mode is sick. If you got something like a laptop on the table or a phone, when you're in glue mode, you'll be able to, put your picture in the screen of that laptop and have everything else in the background. And when you move the camera around, your picture will stay locked into that little box. All right, it's definitely sick. Play with it for yourself. A lot of this stuff you got to play with in order to get the full effect. You can also manage your mode. So if you know there's modes that you don't use a lot, you don't have to have them in here. You can manage your modes. Say you don't ever do panorama or you never plan on doing a rear selfie cam. You can move those out of here. So this way, when you go to your modes, it won't take up too much space. You can also download new modes. I haven't downloaded anything yet, but you can also download whatever you want. They got a whole bunch. Now, let's go to the settings real quick. When you go to your settings, let's exit out of this one. I'm in panorama right now. Let's go to regular mode. Let me show y'all some of the settings we got real quick. Okay, so when you go to your settings, a bunch of settings. Now that's what separates this camera from the iPhone camera. iPhone is more of a point and shoot, simple to use camera. This one has a lot more features. You could change the exposure value. You could change your ISO, your AWB, white balance, metering modes. When you go into record mode, you can have normal, slow motion, fast motion, smooth motion. And let me just say this. The slow motion on this is not as good as the iPhone. It's not the same, but it's nice though. It works. It's fun. You could, you got your daughter doing a flip, put it in slow motion, it's gonna come out nice. But the iPhone slow motion is just a little bit better. You got video stabilization. Now, one thing is, if you're recording in certain video, such as, say you're using UHD or HD, WQHD. If you're using either one of those, you ain't gonna be able to use video stabilization. So if you do 1080p, then you'll be able to use it. All right, that's another reason why I shot the video in 1080p, because I wanted to use the video stabilization. And I also went to recording mode and put on smooth motion. Same thing, but you got a lot of features on this camera. You could use the say cheese feature. So when you want to take a picture, you just hold it out and you want to do a selfie, say cheese, and it'll take the picture. So you don't have to worry about pressing buttons. You can also use your heart rate monitor to take the picture. So when you're doing it, when you're doing your selfie and you got the phone like this, press the button on the back. This way you can have a good grip and have a good picture. Now, one thing I also want to mention is you have wide angle selfies. That's important. Now, for the ladies, it's not really that important because y'all like taking the pictures together, both of y'all faces touching each other. Who cares? But fellas, when you go somewhere and you want to take a picture with your man, you're not trying to stand too close to him where your cheeks are touching. You're not taking pictures like that. Me personally, I'm not doing that. So now when you have the wide selfie, you could take a wide of selfie with you and your friend standing together. And this way, it's kind of like a panoramic selfie. So this way, now you're at that concert or you at the park, wherever you at, you could take a picture with your friend and y'all don't have to be standing, 3 inches away from each other's face. All right, so that's a win right there. Next, let's talk about battery life. Battery life on this phone is a go. All right, now you got a 3,220 milliamp battery, which is an increase from your Galaxy Note 3. Again, another reason to make that upgrade. Now, y'all know I'm an online warrior. I'll be using the phone mad hard. I'll be on beast mode all day long. I'm getting about 6 hours of heavy use out of this phone. All right, 6 hours of heavy use. Now, here's some people saying they're going all day and all of that. That's not hard to believe. My girl, she used her phone all day long and come home and have battery because she's not an online warrior. She's not, some people, it depends which job you have. You go to work and actually do work. Other people, you go to work and 90% of the day you on the phone. And that's me. I go to work 90% of the time, but I'm on the phone, I'm watching videos, I'm listening to music, I'm doing stuff. And a lot of, that's why I got other phones also, because a lot of the work I do is phone-based stuff. I'm making a lot of phone calls and emails and stuff. So on this phone right here, I'll use it all day long. I'll get about 6 hours. All right, that's heavy use. That's from 100% to 0. 6 hours. Now, let me tell y'all one of the features about this phone that I really, really dig is the quick charge. You got fast charging on the Galaxy Note 4, and it's no exaggeration. When you hear people say you can go, now this is what Samsung claims also. Samsung says you can go from 0 to 50% in 30 minutes. So basically you could go from a dead phone, 0 battery, to 100% charge in 1 hour. Now, fellas, ladies, that is a major win. And I'm going on record again. It's true. I did not exaggerate. It's 100% true. And I use this feature so much. All right, now this is the kind of phone that you could fall asleep in the bed with you at night. Normally with your phone and you're going to sleep at night, you got to leave at 8 o'clock in the morning. You got to make sure at some point before you go to sleep, you charge your phone. Or you wake up in the middle of the night, make sure your phone is on the charger. This is the kind of phone that you go to sleep in the bed. When whatever battery you got left, you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, the battery's on 30%. Now I don't know how y'all schedule is, but me, if I got to leave at 8 o'clock, I wake up at maybe 7:43. That's just how I do. But, ladies, I know most of y'all wake up an hour in advance. Even a lot of the dudes out there, too. You wake up about 30, 40 minutes before you got to get up. This way you have time to take a shower and all that. It depends on the kind of person you are. There's times if I got to go somewhere fancy, I'm going to wake up an hour in advance. But if it's just another regular day, I wake up about 17 minutes before I got to break out. Like a real man. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is if you go to sleep at night and you wake up and your phone is at 60% or 40%, you wake up, you plug it into the charger, and you go take a shower, you go eat some, get some breakfast together, pick out your clothes and all that. By the time you're ready to walk out the door, your phone is at 100. Now, my girl does that every night. She falls asleep with the phone under the pillow in the bed or whatever, and then she wakes up in the morning and plugs it in. And by the time she's leaving, the phone is fully charged. That is a win. Now, keep in mind, you got to use the charger that came with the phone. You can't just use any battery charger. You can't plug it in your computer and expect it to fast charge. You got to use the stock charger, but it works, and it works great. There's a lot of times I come home and my phone will be at, 40, 50%. I'll just come home and I just want to run and grab something from out the house and break back out in a couple of minutes. Come home, plug the phone on the charger, go take a dump, go do whatever I got to do. By the time I'm walking back out the house, the phone is at 100. That you can't beat that. All right, that's a win right there. That's the fastest charge out of all these phones I got right now. This one to charge up the fastest. Crazy. Next, the processor. Okay, now, like I said, if you don't know about Snapdragon 805, you don't know about quad-core chipsets and all this stuff, who cares? The process on this is a go. When you go to your internet, everything loads up nice and smooth. Let me pull up a web page. Let's see if I got something with some text on it. Let's see what we got on deck. I don't want to pull up something crazy. Let's see. Let's see. I had a bunch of stuff saved on here, but of course, disappeared. Let's see. Let's go to XDA. Right now, when you load up something, oh, here we go. All right, let me. Oh boy. All right, so let's go. XDA developers, right? So we click on XDA developers. Shout out to my man Danny Wingate. I was checking out his video earlier. Go to XDA. Look how fast that pops up. Now, 805 Snapdragon, you could tell. You see how when you pinch the zoom, everything pinches up and zooms in nice and fast. Everything runs nice and smooth. Look how, and XDA, this is a big website. Look how fast the whole website just loaded up. No problems, no lag in the scrolling. Everything works nice and smooth. All right, so this is a win right here. Now, let me show y'all something I forgot to mention, too, that's kind of hot, that you can set up the way you want, but I set mine up like this with the multitasking. All right, so let's go to my emails. So say I'm on email. Now, click on, somebody left a comment on an Amazon Warrior video. Shout out to all the stream gangsters. Somebody left a comment. Let's wait for this to load up. Now, look, this happens sometimes, too, when you go to your Gmail. The first time you click it, it doesn't pull up the mail. Another little bug. All right, now, say somebody left a comment, and y'all know me. I like to respond to people's comments. I click on the video. It's going to open up the video as a dual window. You see it automatically opened it up as a dual window. All right, so let's hit always on this. Now, the bottom opened up to the YouTube video. So say I wanted to respond to that comment, I can look right here. Now I'm on the top. This is a split screen right here. So I'm on the top. I can see the comment right here. And I can just go to the bottom. And I want to remember the person's name. So I say, okay, my man right here, he just left a comment. And there goes the comment right here. I can just click on it and respond to the comment right there. All right, now, if y'all notice, I'm using this is a stock Galaxy Note 4. The only thing I changed was the keyboard. I do have the Android 5.0 KitKat Lollipop keyboard. This is the only thing I changed on this phone. I was playing with the Lollipop keyboard, and I actually like it better than the KitKat keyboard, so I'm going with this one. But you see how that feature works? So tough. All right, multitasking on this is just so crazy. That's part of that 805 Snapdragon. Now, you see I can just close that up and get right back to the YouTube or right back to the Gmail, whichever one I want to do. So the process on this is a go. Now, let's talk about some of the motions and gestures. They did take away a few of the motions, such as the smart pause. They took away smart pause, whatever. A lot of people didn't use that feature anyway, but some of the main motions are still there. All right, such as the screenshot. When you swipe over, take a screenshot. That's one of my favorite motions and gestures. Let me show y'all, let's go through some of the other motions that you have on here. All right, when you go to your settings, go to motions and gestures, you have direct call. So what that is let me show y'all the diagram for that. That's if you're looking at a contact or something and you want to call that person, all you have to do is raise the phone directly to your ear and it'll automatically call that person. So say I'm in the middle of text messaging my homeboy and we're going back and forth, texting back and forth. At any moment I decide to call him, all I got to do is put the phone in my ear and they'll call him. That's a hot feature right there. That's not a gimmick. You got Smart Alert. if you got your phone on the table like this, and say you get a text message and you got your phone on vibrate, you're at work, at school or something, as soon as you pick the phone up, it's going to give you an alert to let you know that while your phone was down, you missed an alert. All right, so that's tough right there. You got the mute to pause. So say you got your phone on the table like this and your alarm stops going off, your alarm goes off or whatever, you could just hover your hand over the screen and it'll pause whatever's playing. All right, so that's tough right there. Or if you're getting a phone call and your phone's ringing, turn it upside down and it'll stop the alert. So that's dope right there. And my favorite one, the palm swipe. That's the one I just did. When you want to take a picture, just swipe over the screen. Now, I got my phone on silent because I don't want too many ringtones to go off. But just now when I swiped it, you see it said save and screenshot. When you swipe it like this, you get a little vibration. See, taking a little screenshots. So that's dope right there. So the motions and gestures are there. Now, it's not the same motions like you get on your G3 or M8. I'm a little disappointed with that too because one of my main gestures that I love about the G3 and the M8 is when you pick it up and you tap the screen and your 1+1, you tap the screen and it'll turn on. All right, that's one of my favorite motions. All right, same thing on your M8. You pick it up, you tap the screen, and it'll turn on. So yeah, is it a big deal? No, because Samsung never had that feature. But if y'all watching this video over at Samsung, that's something we want for the Galaxy Note 5. Let us get that. Next, the fingerprint scanner. Now I like the fingerprint scanner on this. I personally don't use it, but the first week I had this phone, I was using it every day, and the fingerprint scanner does work. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 working every single time, and 1 being HTC One Max status where it never worked, I would give this phone a 9. And let me show you the best way to set this fingerprint scan up if you want to use it and you want to get it to work 95% of the time. When you're setting it up, you can set up to 3 fingerprints. What I recommend doing is just set 1. Set your thumb or set whatever finger you plan on using the most. I recommend the thumb. For the first one, set it up just like this, straight up and down. For the second time, set it up with your thumb like this at an angle. And for the third time, turn your thumb sideways and do the swipes like that and set it up like this for the third one. So this way, every time you grab your phone and you swipe it down, it's going to work. And like I said, I got it to work maybe 95% of the time, almost 100% of the time. Only time that I had a little hiccups is when I had a case on the phone. Without a case on the phone, it pretty much works all the time. Now, like I said, I'm not going to do a full comparison video, but I do got to make some comparisons because everybody's going to ask which is better, the fingerprint scanner on the Note or on the iPhone. Well, I got to keep it real with y'all. The fingerprint on the iPhone is way better. There's no competition on the market right now for this fingerprint scanner for 2 reasons. For one, the fact that it always works. And the second reason is there's none of this swiping stuff. That swiping stuff after a while, it's kind of whack. You see what you got when you pull out your iPhone, you just rest your thumb on it and it opens up. That's so much more of a natural motion. A lot of times when you pull the iPhone out of your pocket, all you have to do is you're holding your thumb on it anyway. So when you hit the screen, it's one button. So it's like pressing the button while your fingerprint is being registered and it pops right open. So when it comes to fingerprint scanner, the Galaxy Note 4, it works and it's definitely good, but it's not the best on the market. But now it's way better than the original one that came out on the Galaxy S5. The one that came out on the S5 before the update, it was kind of trashy. I was getting, maybe 80% time working. Then after they did the update, it started working maybe 90% of the time. I got it to work good. But on the Note 4, I could pretty much get it every time. It's just I had to set up 3 fingers on the same swipe pad. All right, so I don't have 3 different fingers, only the thumb. Next, heart rate monitor. The heart rate monitor works on this. Now, I'm not a big, physical fitness kind of dude. I'm more weightlifting and all that. But I did test out the heart rate monitor in the gym, and it works. Like, I took my heart rate, regular. Then I took it after I did a couple of sets. Then I took it after I came off the treadmill, and you can see the difference. That's how you know it works. A lot of times, you get some of these, like, Fitbit devices and some of these little aftermarket heart rate monitors and stuff that you see people in the gym have. And you take your heart rate, and it'll be 88. And then you do a set and it'll be 89. Like, it's, they don't work that great. But the heart rate monitor on the Note 4, it definitely works. The first time I took it, it was like 86. Then I did a set and it was like 110. Then I come off the treadmill, it's like 126. And I guess, you can see the difference and you can feel it, when you breathe and your heart rate is going faster when you're out of breath. So it works. Next, ultra power saving mode. So let's go through some of these features. on your drop down menu. Now, one thing I will say too, let me throw that in there. I'm glad Samsung went back. This is one thing that I'm glad they did take away. Remember on your Note 3, when you went into your settings, everything was all over the place with those 4 different tabs, and you're trying to memorize where everything is at. Now everything is back to one straight line. It looks nice and neat like this. I have the ones I use the most. You could add these, you could customize these, the ones, whatever, whatever way you want. I got mine set up with the ones that I use the most. So I got my Bluetooth, sound, display, brightness, lock screen, and the S Pen. That's the ones I use the most. But let's go through some of these features real quick that you could see on this. Now, you got your Wi-Fi location, the typical ones, but ultra power saving mode. That is a win. Okay, now it's the same kind of design on the HTC M8. When you activate ultra power saving mode, this is for when, a lot of times your battery will be about to die maybe 30 minutes before you get home. Like if you work a full day and you're outside after work, maybe you go shopping, you do some stuff, you go to the gym, your phone will be, start to slow down, coming toward the end of the day, especially when you see your battery's at 30%. Then you're going to stop browsing Instagram so much. You're going to stop hitting the Twitter so hard. You're going to stop YouTube, and, you want to slow down because you want to make sure you got some battery left. Well, now with ultra power saving mode, use your phone like a beast the way you've been doing all day long. When your phone gets to 20%, activate ultra power saving mode. It's going to go in your phone. It's going to cut off a lot of unnecessary stuff. And believe me when I tell you, you're going to be able to rock out for the rest of the day on ultra power saving mode. It's crazy. All right, so you got 2 power saving modes. You got ultra power saving and regular power saving. So if you're only 30 minutes from your house, yeah, put on power saving mode. But if you got 2 more hours to go and you're stuck in traffic and maybe you wanted to go to the gym after work, ultra power saving mode is the way to go. It's tough. You got screen mirroring. If you got a compatible device, you hit screen mirroring. Like I got a Samsung TV. Once I hit the screen mirroring, everything that's on my phone is on the TV. So it's like having a big screen note on the TV. It's crazy. You got the side panel. Now, side panel is this little button that y'all see on the side. That's kind of like the way the arrow used to be for the multitasking apps. But all this is simple. You can move this around too any way you want, or you can go and edit this. But all this is your buttons from the bottom on the side now, which makes that easier for when you're using one-hand operation. Now, the Note 4 is a big, giant phone, but in my hands, it looks small. But, young ladies, smaller dudes, this phone is going to be big in your hands. You might not be able to reach the bottom of the phone comfortably. So what you could do is set up the side button a little bit higher up, and it works just like the buttons on the bottom. If you hold down the back button, it'll open up the side apps. If you hit home, say I'm on this screen right here, open up the side button, hit home, it'll take you home. Double tap the home button. Double tap hold down the multitasking button. It'll get to your widget selection page. Everything works the same as it does on the bottom. All right, so this is a go right here. Now, if you hold down the home button, it'll take you to your Google Now. I forgot I deactivated my S Voice. All right, I don't use S Voice. I rather use Google Voice. Now let's see what else you got on this. You got blocking mode. This way is you could set up privacy. You don't want to get text messages in the middle of the night. You go to blocking mode, set it up where you don't get text messages from certain time to certain time. Car mode. Car mode is deaf. It's definitely deaf. That's an old school word right there too. Shout out to my man. We was just talking. That shit is stuck in my head. Car mode is a definite go. All right. Now you see I'm in car mode right now. I can just say, "Hi Galaxy. Navigate to the nearest McDonald's." Now I got the volume down, otherwise you would have heard the response. But you see it pull up my location and take me to McDonald's. So car mode is perfect if you have a nice dock in your car. You put your phone in the dock, activate car mode, and you'll be able to send text messages, make phone calls, do navigation and all that stuff. It works great. All right, so let's see what else we got. Let me get back. Let me just exit out of this. Now, for some reason, when you activate car mode, it does. All right, see, it does take a while to get out of this, though. Yeah, let me just. Oh boy. Of course, when you're on video, that's when you get all the bugs. All right. Other than that, let's see. You got private mode. This private mode is a go, and you could set that up with your fingerprint scanner, fellas. Private mode. You get all your pictures, all your nudes and all that. Put it in private mode. Just put them in a specific gallery and put a fingerprint lock on it. And then you can have your phone open with no lock on it. This way, you know, a lot of times, and I'm talking to the fellas, a lot of times the ladies don't like when you come home and your phone is locked up and all that. They don't like that. So, you know, you want to be a gentleman, you leave your phone unlocked. But now with this phone, you can have all of your dirt in a private folder, and you can have it with a fingerprint lock. That's private mode. All right, so that's a go. Also, you have touch sensitivity. So what that does is you can increase the touch sensitivity. So if you're wearing a set of gloves, now wintertime is right around the corner. When you're wearing a set of gloves, you activate touch sensitivity, and you don't have to take off your gloves to swipe on the screen. All right, so that's hot right there. Let's see what else we got. Now, I'm kind of saving the best for last. All right, let's see. S Finder. S Finder is a go when you swipe down right here. Now, keep in mind from your lock screen, from your home screen, when you swipe down, you got Quick Connect. This will tell you anything that you could connect to that's close by. Let me skip all this stuff. All right. Now, anything that's close by, so my Sony TV that's right here, I can connect to. If my Xbox was on, be able to connect to that. Whatever you want, whatever's on. Oh, look, some more stuff just popped up. All right, another TV, my Galaxy Gear. You can just use a Quick Connect. Now, let me show y'all S Finder. S Finder is the exact same as Spotlight on your iPhone. Same thing. All right, S Finder. When you open that up, now you could search for specific stuff online or on your phone. So now I have S Finder open. Say I just type in Gmail. It's going to bring up the app. This is the best way if you want to search for an app on your phone. You type in Gmail. It'll search for that app. It's going to search for contacts, and all the way at the bottom you'll see web browsing information. Now, did I turn off my Wi-Fi? I don't know why it's taking so long. You see? Look, here we go again. This note, man, that's the only thing that you're going to have to get used to. Let's exit out of all this. Try this again now. See that delay right there? Let's close all these out. Let's end all the processes. Let's try this again. So now we go to S Finder. Let's type in Gmail. Now there it goes. You see now you got your application right here. You got my Gmail web history, any Gmail contacts I got, Gmail Chrome stuff, all of the emails, calendars, and I can just do a web search. All right, so S Finder is a definite go. You can also use voice to do that. You can check locations, whatever you want. S Finder is just like Spotlight, a little bit better though. Next, let's see. What else we got? IR Blaster. All right, now a lot of people don't use the IR Blaster, but a lot of people do. That's one thing that you're not going to get on your iPhone 6 and your 6 Plus. No IR Blaster, no NFC. NFC and IR Blaster on deck on your Note 4. All right, now I use NFC pretty much all the time because y'all see I got a lot of Bluetooth speakers. So I use my NFC mainly for pairing Bluetooth speakers. And also where I work at, there's a lot of NFC tags all over the place. So I just, every now and then I hit an NFC tag. And also the ones I got set up in my office, the ones you buy on Amazon, NFC writable tags. I got those. So as soon as I come in the office, I hit the NFC tag and it automatically put my phone on vibrate or automatically turn it off vibrate. Now, IR Blaster, I use that as a remote control all the time. I use my Google TV remote. Yes, you don't need that. That's use Google TV remote if you have a Google TV, then you won't need to use the IR Blaster. But if not, then you could just use your IR Blaster and you can change pretty much all of these TVs nowadays that's coming out. You can use it as a remote control. So download Samsung Watch On if you got a internet TV, and even if not an internet TV, if you got a up-to-date TV, download Samsung Watch On and use the remote. It's tough. You'll be able to get alerts, of your favorite shows that's coming on and all that. And when you get that alert at the top, you click it, hit the button, and it activates. All right, so that's kind of crazy. Did I even set it up on this one yet? Let's see. See Samsung Watch On remote right there. That's what it looks like. So if you don't got that, you better get that. I haven't set it up on this one yet, but I've been using it on my Galaxy S5. Let's see what else we got here. Now, the main thing that I like about this phone, that's like I said, I saved it for the end, is the S Pen. The S Pen is what separates this phone from every phone that's on the market right now, which separates this phone from the iPhone, the G3, the HTC. This is what's going to make this phone, in my opinion, the best phone that's out right now. All right, my bad. I got a phone call. I had to take that real quick. Let's get back in. Now, like I was saying, The S Pen is the best feature on this phone, and that's what makes this phone the best phone of the year. All right, let me show you some of the features that you could do. Like I said, I'm not going to make this a tutorial. I'm just going to show you some of the stuff that I use my S Pen for. When you pull out your S Pen, you're immediately going to get this air command list. Now, you could turn that off and on if you want. And on a side note, you could also set it up when you walk away from your phone. If you didn't put your S Pen back in, your phone's going to give you an alert. That's hot. That's going to keep you from losing your S Pen and have to buy another one for $60, $70, wherever they got them for, but they're not cheap. All right, so if you put the phone here and you walk away, you're going to get a notification saying that your S Pen is detached. Now, let me show y'all some of the S Pen features. First of all, S Pen is a little bit upgraded from the Note 3. You see, you got those ridges on it. Otherwise, it's still the same. Now, if you want, you could tap the button on your S Pen and tap the screen twice, and you'll automatically pull up a memo. All right, this will give you a quick memo. All right, but let me show you. Let's just go through the regular features first. All right, so you get close to the screen, you tap the button. You got 4 features. You got Action Memo, you got Smart Select, you got Image Clip, and you got Screen Write. Okay, now you tap the screen and all those will disappear. So all you have to do is have your finger by the button, get close to the screen. You're gonna see that little, blue dot. You press the button. Let's go to Action Memo first. So now you hit Action Memo. Now if you want, you can just take down a phone number. Now I'm doing this from behind the camera. Let's see, 345 6421 Mike. Now, say I'm outside and somebody just gave me the number. Once I hit this, I can link to an action. Now, say I wanted to save that as a contact. We'll go to Contacts. You see it already put the number in, and it added the name. Now, every now and then, sometimes it might miss a number or whatever, but that's only because I'm writing from behind the camera. You see it saved that little box right there. I'm writing from behind the camera, but normally when you write the way you're supposed to write, it's going to come out 100%. Let's discard that. So let's try that again. All right, so you go to Action Memo. Let's see, you hit, let's put in Dave, and then let's put in YouTube. Now, you go to Link to Action. You could send a message if I had a contact like that. If it was a number, I could call it. I could add it directly to my contacts. If it was a location, I can bring up straight to the map. I could add this as a task, or I could just go to the browser, and it'll put that. You know, like I said, I wrote it, came up PAVE, but YouTube came out right. Fellas, don't get discouraged because of the way I'm writing from behind the camera. Trust me when I tell you, if you write in the way you're supposed to, matter of fact, I'll do one the way I'm supposed to. Let's do one real one. All right, this stuff is a little bit tricky from behind the camera. Let's do an Action Memo. I'll write it the way I would really write outside. All right. 3472219. All right, that's the way I would really write it from behind the camera. Let's do a contact. Okay, you see it comes up perfectly. All right, so that's a hot little feature right there. Next, let's do Smart Select. So let me show you what Smart Select is. Now, I'm gonna pull up a website real quick. Let me just get this out of the way. I'm gonna pull up a website real quick. Now, let's go to YouTube. I just got a message real quick. I wanted to disregard that. All right, so let's go to YouTube real quick. Now, if I wanted to say it, let me show you this. Let's activate Smart Select. That's going to activate this little box. So now make a box around these 2 videos. Now, it automatically cuts it into a complete perfect square. And I hit that little T right there. That's for text. Now it brings up all of the text that was in those 2 boxes. So you see it came up with the name of the video. At the bottom, it even comes up with the link. So this is from the website. I could share it. I could go directly to the website, or I could just, immediately add it to my bookmarks. That's kind of sick right there. All right, and I could just share this little picture right here, or if I want, I could just collect it and put it into a little scrapbook, and now it's saved right there. So now say I got that saved, and I want to see some more stuff. Let's see. I wanted to show how I got my home screen set up to somebody. Go to Smart Select. Let's say I wanted to show them these 4 apps the way I got them set up. Go to Collect. and it collect those. Now I hit the button right there, and you'll see everything that's collected. I can go right here, I can edit this, I can share it, can do whatever I want. All right, so that's kind of dope. Now, for the, let's see, what else we got on here? Image clip. Now, image clip, this is the one that I use the most. Now, it changed a little bit different from how it used to work on your note. Remember on the note, you used to just press the button. That's why I still got to kind of get used to that. I got to get used to opening it up like this. Because remember before on your note, you just press the button with the pen and hold it down. Now it's a little bit different. So say I want to show somebody this picture right here. Let's go to image select. Image clip. Now, I can just draw a little circle around this, and it'll save that image right here. Now, if I want, I can make it a complete perfect circle, or I can make it a perfect square, or I can use the little magnet, and it'll try to, draw around the way I did the circle. It'll try to draw around it the best way that it can. All right, now sometimes that takes a minute to do. Now, the thing about the S Pen that's kind of hot also is you can use your touch capacitive buttons. You can still use the pen with them. So once you got the pen in your hand, you don't have to, hold it like this and do some stuff with your finger and some stuff with the pen. Everything you do on your phone, you could do with the S Pen. That includes the touch capacitive buttons, even the home button. All right. And you also, now I'm getting 1,001 alerts too. And you also have screen write. Now what screen write is real simple. Let's click on the Facebook real quick. All right. Now say, I think I got some dude out did some dumb shit. Let's go through my Facebook real quick. Let's see. Now say I wanted to write something on this comment right here. I activate screen write. It takes a screenshot of the picture, and now I'm able to write on it. I could circle some stuff out. I could put some arrows. I could draw some smiley faces. Do whatever you want. You can change the colors, rotate it, crop, paste, do whatever you want. Share it right to somebody immediately. This is dope. All right, I could just share that same picture right there, right to my couple, and just share it. And just send that over to my girl. She's gonna be like, what's this? You see, it's the picture I just took. And then when she clicks on it, it's gonna look like this. All right, so that's hot. That's a lot of the features. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna show everything that the S Pen can do. That's pretty much the main stuff that I use it for. Also, I'll show you one more thing you could do. Say you go to your web browser. Once you hover the S Pen, let's get rid of that. Once you hover the S Pen into your text area, you hit that text button. Now you could write. Okay, so let me show you something real quick. Let's cancel that out. Now, you see, I'm doing this from behind the camera. Let me see, make sure y'all can see. All right, you hit that little text button. Now I can write a website. So let's write YouTube. And it came up YouTube, and I could just hit go. Now, all of these features, this is kind of hot, and it may seem like it's slow or the way I'm doing it, because normally you're not going to be holding your phone behind a camera, writing at a funny angle like this. You're going to have the phone on the table. So now when you're at work and you're doing stuff like this, and you got the phone on your table, after about 5 minutes, you'll get used to this, and it's so much easier. A lot of people prefer to write stuff as opposed to type it. Like me, I prefer to write something as opposed to typing it. So say I go to my internet browser. When the phone is on the table, it works a lot better. So you see, if it's on the table, it'll normally be like this. And then say I want to pull up a website. Let's do World Star. There goes World Star. We'll just go right there. And it takes me right to World Star. And the same thing when you sending text messages or you're sending emails, you could write them out as opposed to typing them out. So that's why I say the Galaxy Note with the S Pen is the best phone that's out. All right, the S Pen is the big equalizer right there. That's when anytime you want to have an argument with somebody about which phone is better, the HTC One, the G3, the iPhone 6, all of those phones are nice, but none of them have an S Pen. Okay, so the S Pen is what separates this phone, and it's going to make this phone, in my opinion, the best phone of the year. Now, the last thing we got to talk about is the floss factor. All right, now, what's the floss factor? That means when you pull out your Galaxy Note 4 and somebody comes out with the iPhone 6 Plus, Somebody comes out with the HTC One Max. Somebody comes out with the LG G3. Somebody comes out with an iPhone 6. Somebody comes out with a Samsung Galaxy S5. Whatever phone they got, when you pull out your Note 4, are you sitting on top of the food chain, or do you have to take your phone and put it in your pocket because they're the big dog in town? Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest, 1 being the worst, the floss factor on this phone is a 10. All right, the floss factor on this phone is a major win. Now, why did I say that as opposed to the iPhone 6? The iPhone 6, yeah, that has a great floss factor too, but that phone is more common, especially in the next couple of weeks. You know, now that the second shipments are starting to come in, everybody in the world is going to have an iPhone. Everybody's going to have an iPhone 6 Plus or iPhone 6. So it's going to, just like with the same thing with the iPhone 5S. You know, you can't go nowhere without seeing the iPhone 5S. But when you got your Note 4, a lot of people are not going to have this one. A lot of people are going to go for the iPhone. A lot of people are going to go for the Nexus 6. Whenever something is great and it's the top of the food chain and everybody doesn't have it, that gives it a little bit more floss factor. And one thing about the Apple phones, now that's going to change soon. But right now, we got the Galaxy Watch to go with the phone. So this is the ultimate combination right here. Now, you do have the new gear coming out too. I will be copping that. You do have the Samsung Circle, the headphones. You got the level headphones. You got the level speaker. You know, Samsung got a whole family of products. But when it comes to the phone, the main two that you want to have that banging floss factor is you want to have your Galaxy Gear and you want to have your Galaxy Note 4 paired together. So now when my phone is in my pocket, everything I need to get is right here on my watch. All of my notifications. You see, I got all of my messages, Facebook, Google+, Twitter, Hangouts, missed calls. Everything is right on the watch. So that's a deadly combination right there. That's putting your floss factor off the charts. Now, Galaxy Note is a big phone, so you're not going to have to worry about finding cases. All right, now a lot of these other phones that come out overnight, yeah, companies know that the phone is nice, but they know the phone might not survive, or, you know, they don't want to make too many cases just yet, such as the OnePlus One. You know, you don't see too many cases from all of the big name companies. But for a phone like the iPhone 6 and the Note, you're going to see a bunch of cases. Now, one thing I will say is be careful. All right. Now, y'all see me do a whole bunch of cases from Spigen and all these other companies. I'm about to do some various cases I just got in the mail. I will tell y'all, if you got a Verizon Galaxy Note and you got a Sprint Galaxy Note, the microphone placement on the bottom is a little bit different. All right. Now, I went over that in the Amazon Warrior video the other night. The Verizon Galaxy Note 4, the microphone is a little bit more to the right or to the left, depending on which way you look at it. It's a little bit more over. So now if you put this case on, this Neo Hybrid right here, this one is made for the Sprint version. If you put this case on a Verizon phone, Verizon Galaxy Note 4, it's going to completely cover up the microphone. Now, it depends. That could be a big deal. If you don't have a headset, yeah, that's going to be a big deal. Every time you talk to somebody on the phone, they could barely hear you. But if you got an LG Tone or one of these other Bluetooth Motorola headsets, then that's not a big deal. And you can get whatever case you want. I just had to throw that out there real quick. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, this phone right now, in my opinion, this is the best phone out. This is the best phone I have. With everything that I said I didn't like, even with all those little hiccups and lags, and y'all seen it for yourself, even with those little hiccup and lags that you get every now and then, this is still the best phone out right now, and it's my favorite phone. All right, this is, now if you're looking to buy a new phone, you got a Galaxy Note 3, you got an iPhone 5, you got an HTC M7, and it's time for your upgrade. If you want to get the most for your money, I'm going to tell you how to get a Galaxy Note 4. Now, the iPhone 6 Plus and the 6 is a great phone. The LG G3 is a great phone, the M8 banging phone. But if you want the most for your money, get yourself a Note 4, because you could do everything you could do on all of those other phones I just named. You could do basically every single thing on your Note 4, but all of those other phones don't have an S Pen. Now, there's some of y'all at home right now watching this video that have Galaxy Note 4 and y'all don't use the S Pen. The S Pen, the only way you're going to really get the full appreciation for it is you're going to have to start using it. All right, don't just, just have it just to say I have it. Use it, and trust me when I tell you, my main feature that I'm using on this is not the screen, right? I hit the wrong one. I gotta get used to the way this one is set up. I'm still in Galaxy Note 3 days because, remember, press the button and just copy it like that. Let me show you. This is the best feature that I use right now is this one right here. All right, the image clip. I'm always going like this, cropping out little pictures of something online, little pictures off Instagram, little brief parts of a text message. I don't want the other person to see the whole text message, so I just copy a little bit of it and I just immediately share it. That's what I'm doing all day with my Galaxy Note. I'm cutting little pictures and I'm sharing them all over the place. All right, now, on these other phones, you can do that too, but what you're going to have to do is, if you're sending somebody a text message and you want to, send them a little part of that message, you had to take a screenshot, then you had to crop it into a little square, and then save the picture and send it to them like that. Big, 4 or 5 step process. When you got your Galaxy Note 4, it's a 1-step process, which is easy and fun. So this is the most fun phone that's out right now, has the best display, banging battery, and you have that mighty S Pen that nobody could touch right now. You got IR blaster, nice sounding speaker on the back. Only downside is the lag. You're gonna get that little lag here and there. And now look, the reason I'm not even making a big deal about that is because once I make this video, and maybe I'll do another comparison video later or something else, I'm gonna root the phone and it's bye-bye TouchWiz. I don't really care about that. So once you root the phone, and then also I haven't even played with the developer options yet. I'm going to go in developer options. I'm going to turn down all the animation speeds and all that. I'm going to get rid of all the bloatware. The phone is going to be running like a beast. Because I had that same issue with my Galaxy Note 3. It started lagging out, started doing this, doing that. Once you root it, you get rid of TouchWiz. You throw in a Viper ROM, you throw in AOKP or CyanogenMod, whatever ROM you want. It's going to be better than the stock TouchWiz. It's going to be smoother. It's going to run more fluently. All right, so like I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, this phone is an 11. It's a major go. It's my favorite phone on the market right now. Shout out to everybody that rock with me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Google+. Shout out to all the Google gangsters. I see y'all holding down that Facebook page. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Voxer. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with me on Instagram. Y'all know that's where I'm at full time, 100% full throttle. And also, special shout out to everybody rocking with the Amazon Warrior videos on Sunday. You already know the deal. Get your drinks ready. Shout out to the Stream Gangsters. Oh yeah, almost forgot. One more thing. Fellas, ladies, before we even get into that too, a lot of people probably going to ask about the dock. Let me just throw this out there too. This is a little Samsung dock. I actually got this from my Galaxy Note 3, but it works perfectly with the Note 4. So all y'all cats who got a dock, the Note 3 version will work. Now, what was I getting ready to say? Oh yeah. Fellas, ladies, say it with me. All y'all haters, all y'all trolls, close your eyes and picture me rolling. It's your boy Floss, I'm out. Deuces.